Hello everybody, welcome back to the Untitled Cycles Project. My name is the MaskedAura, and also known as Luke. I am back with another, what are Luke's thoughts or Luke's recap of the college football season, week 2. Week 2, of course, is in the books. And before we get started, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that like button, turn that notification bell. I'll try to have this up, week 3's up on Sunday earlier. Sorry for the late upload. I was dealing with the little flu bug that I caught. And now that I'm feeling a lot better. So yeah. This week of college football has come and gone. And as always, the background play will be the top game, in my opinion, top ranked versus ranked opponent game of the week. And so, another week is in the books. The week of chaos, this week being college football being on crack. Insane, absolutely insane. So, let us begin with the first point, which being Notre Dame. What the fluff? What the heck, Notre Dame, are you doing? What are you doing, Notre Dame? What you guys doing? Losing to NIU? Really? I mean, point A was the Maction was in full bloom. You know, get ready to learn Maction, baby, because, you know, even though some of the results, I mean, you know, sure, Ohio State beat the absolute hell out of Western Michigan, and Missouri beat the hell out of Buffalo. Rutgers beat Akron. But you know what? There are some good things that have happened in the MAC. Two big notes is that Bowling Green nearly upsets Penn State. In Penn State, and of course we have Northern Illinois actually pulling off the upsets. And all I gotta say is, holy crap. I would never have thought to see the day we could have had two massive upsets, and any more reason why you should absolutely love college football. Man, how can you not love college football after what we, the people, witnessed? How can you not love it? I don't understand, how can you not love what you just saw that occurred this weekend? I mean, as much as everybody hate watching Penn State because, you know, the running joke is, you know, wait till Penn State has to play someone really hard and then they completely fall out of the top 10 and tumble their way, likely out of ranked status. It shows. But Penn State early on wasn't, you know, good. Sure, they beat Penn State did, I think, a good enough job in week 1 beating West Virginia. Kudos to that. You beat West Virginia in the Big 12. So, good on that. I mean, you're versus Kent State next week. You should beat the absolute hell out of Kent State. And you're hosting them too. But, yeah, Penn State, I mean, you're sure happy you don't have to play Michigan this year, but you're also playing USC and Ohio State. Have fun! Have fun! fun with that. But oh, whoa, the Bros are on a bye week too. They're on a bye week too, man. Yeah, Penn State almost losing to Bowling Green. I mean, at the end of the day for Bowling Green, they were trying to, do these tic-tac, dink and doink plays. But, like, you look at it at the end of the day, they can only go so much in the fourth quarter. You gotta go for the home run ball, man. You gotta go for the home run ball. You really do you just have to hit the home run. That's it. The home run ball. You hit it. Hit the home run ball. That's all you literally have to do is hit the freaking home run ball. And you win. They likely could have won that game, but oh well. I mean, Bowling Green, hell of a fight that they put up. Could do some pretty nice things in the MAC this year, I hope. The real one, though, the real one is let's check my notes here. Oh, that's right. It's International Dunk on Notre Dame Day, and holy smokes, did Notre Dame pull up probably one of the greatest all-time chokes, the greatest all-time blunders that I have ever seen, one of the greatest all-time embarrassments. I think this is closely to when Appalachian State beat Michigan. Closest thing that, I've ever seen. Closest. I think it's more on pace when Appalachian State beating. This is like as close to I think it's more close to Appalachian State beating Texas A&M in 2022 to where LMAO, it's International Dunk on Texas A&M Day. I think another school that is just very vastly overrated because, again, what have you done? They haven't done much. But this was a massive, massive upset. And didn't I say Notre Dame was going to the CFP? Yeah, I said Notre Dame was going to the CFP. I was wrong. Notre Dame will not go to the CFP. Like, how? And it's gonna lead to my kind of leads into my second point. This week could have been really, really, really messy, in a hilarious way, like very messy, right? Like, again, just look at the ranked opponents. Like, I mean, Georgia takes care of business. Ohio State takes care of business. Texas takes care of business. Alabama and South Florida. Did you know that one point the score for South Florida versus Alabama was 16-14 for South Florida? Then Alabama absolutely, completely pantsed them. That's how messy it got. It got that messy to where, unfortunately to Alabama, how the heck do you look past this opponent? You're mentally getting ready for Wisconsin. What the heck? Right? They look past, why are you looking past South Florida? Why are you looking at Georgia, man? What are you doing? So this is like kind of like the big, what are they doing moment for Alabama, in my opinion. Like, that was absolutely embarrassing, to say the least. And for the point, don't look past your opponent. That's what happens. Notre Dame, what are you looking at? They're probably looking way past Northern Illinois. Right? These guys have put up 39 points this season. Notre Dame. Like, what are you doing? what are y'all doing, right? Because now, right, you're scheduled on the line. I mean, it's still it's you know you're playing against a good Georgia Tech team. You got Florida State, which they might be up better than they were, and then you got USC at the end of the season, and I mean, you'll go bowling, but like Riley Leonard is not is dude. Dude does not pass the eye test at all. I mean, I think he's in his senior year too, which is, man, that's the most upsetting part. Was, you know, you thought you were gonna bring in this guy to bolster this team. He doesn't. And he's in his senior year, and yeah, I don't know if you guys are even gonna beat Purdue next week. Big Ten opponent. Why the hell is it streaming on Peacock? The worst thing ever. I mean, they've had their tune-up game already. They're on a bye week, so they've had plenty of time. Like, Purdue can pounce on Notre Dame. Like, the time is now, right? Ole Miss takes care of the business. Like, Oregon, Jesus Christ. You have to beat Boise State on a last-second field goal? What? Like, again, Oregon looks, again, very beatable right now. They struggled against, like, you do know that versus Idaho, they only won by 10. Boise, they've only won by 3. These are like Idaho, last time I checked. That's their FCS opponents you barely got by. And you barely got by Boise State. I'll be admit, Boise State kind of being one of the better teams right now, but you're barely getting by them. I mean, I will be taking Oregon State. I'm going to be doubling down for the Untitled Sickles Project of Oregon State upsetting Oregon. I will be doubling down. I shall double down that the Oregon State Beavers will upset Oregon. By the way, the spread right now is 14.5. Oh my god, I'm gonna take Oregon State because like the very least, right? We have the Downtown Cycles Project have a thing for pickups called the Double Down Clause, and the Double Down Clause is if you think there's a wild upset upcoming, you say you're up. You say what the upset is. If you get your double down correctly, you have it for next week, kind of like a baseball challenge. But if you don't get it, you have a 4-week cooldown. And if, say, because currently Oregon's up by 14.5. If Oregon wins by more than 15, I lose 2 points. But if they don't cover the spread, I don't lose anything at all, but I do lose my double down. So I think Oregon State, very beatable right now. They're 2-0, but they're very beatable 2-0. Penn State looking past their opponent. Again, Missouri beat the hell out of their opponent. Michigan, they lost. Utah, as weird as Utah is, that game was so weird. Utah just had to stand there and do absolutely nothing. But let's go with the quick as, again, Oklahoma versus Houston. Another kind of messy game. I think it was 14-12 at one point. 14 to 12. I mean, it ended 16-12. But like, again, you should beat the absolute hell out of Houston. Right? The Houston Cougars got wrecked by UNLV. So, again, stop looking past your opponent. Again, Arizona. Did you know that Arizona at half was losing 10-6? You know how, again, I think Arizona is another team that I think is just going to completely tumble out of the rankings and be completely forgettable? Sorry, Arizona. I think Arizona's about to tumble out of the rankings. If they do not beat Kansas State, this is a team that's going to completely tumble out of the ratings. Because guess who they play next week? They play Utah. Have fun. Have fun. Also, Kansas, the Jayhawks, again, they lose to Illinois. I mean, can't look past your opponents. You got to stop doing that. You got to treat your opponents. You got to respect your opponents, because there could have been a boatload of upsets this week, and there would have been a massive shakeup if some of these upsets went through. We would have had an extremely, and I mean extremely, messy AP Top 25. Probably the messiest we've seen in a while. And, my top 25 is going to look a little weird, but yeah. Stop looking past your opponents, people. You got to play a lot better than what you already are. You have to play better. So, stop looking past your opponent. Keynote number 3. Of course, AP poll being out right now. And, the SEC just means different, doesn't it? Doesn't the SEC just mean... That's a phrase. But, to understand, this is the SEC. This is the top 25 right now. We have Georgia, that's 1. Texas, 2. Alabama, 3. Ole Miss, 4. Missouri, 5. Tennessee, 6. This is not exact rankings, just listing the number of teams. There are 6 in the top 7. LSU, there's 7 teams. Teams receiving votes, Texas A&M, way too high in my opinion, but getting votes. Vanderbilt, getting votes. So, again, you have half the conference getting votes to be in the top 25. Ain't that the damnedest thing on the planet? That's absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's, again, let's just look down the next 3 weeks at the, we're going to look at the SEC. I think this is kind of like is there any conference games this week? Georgia and Kentucky, I believe, is the only one. Oh, A&M in Florida. LSU, South Carolina. So, that LSU, South Carolina should be a good one. Even though they're not ranked opponents. Ranked versus ranked opponent, LSU being 16 right now. But you also got Boston College, ACC, and number 6 Missouri. This is a much bigger one than it is on paper. This one is huge, because I think it's a lot bigger. It's a huge test for Boston College, as I said last week, being the ACC, being a conference that's 100% wide open. It's anybody's game right now. So, that's this week. Week 4. Week number 4 in the SEC. Let's see. Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Again, huge game. One of the huge games in week 4. Tennessee and Oklahoma is huge. Like, this is Oklahoma's realistically their first test this week. First test upcoming. Week 5 in the SEC. I think this is the big one. How do you all like Georgia and Alabama? Ain't nothing bigger than Georgia and Alabama. Week 6 in the SEC. Not much, not huge ones. Lots of teams on bye week. But I want to see when it gets what's like the eye-popping week. As of now. Ole Miss, LSU, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Alabama. Yeah, week 7's a pretty big week too. Week 7 is huge, man. Week 7's pretty big. Week 8, Georgia and Texas, Alabama, Tennessee. And Alabama and Tennessee, holy smokes. South Carolina and Oklahoma, LSU, Arkansas. Like, point is, huge. Huge. The SEC is going to be an absolute dogfight. Like, it's an absolute dogfight. Like, when it comes to shove, right? And, you know, as much as being the first time being 12 teams that makes the dance. You know, conference championships in the Power 4 and the one group of 5 champion. And then there's 7 spots left. And how many... right now, there'd be 5 SEC teams in and 2 Big Ten in those last 7 spots. Like, obviously... Right? Like, you got Alabama playing Texas. You got Georgia playing Texas. You got Tennessee playing Alabama. Like, there's going to be a lot of huge games in the SEC that's really going to, like, especially when losses do happen. You can imagine if you're an SEC team and how important it is to go 10-2. Like, just sheer importance of going 10-2. Going forward is going to be something that is a lot of pressure. You can't lose any of these conference games. These games are going to be very, very big. Like, if you're 9-3, like, you could be like one of the best 9-3 team, a really good 9-3 team, and not make the CFP. Even though you're super good and super good, right? But 9-3. Will not get you in. I hope that they hold the SEC to a really high standard. And even though, right, like, I wonder if, like especially you look at Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, and Ole Miss, if a lot of them are going to go, you know, could go 9-3, right? They go 9-3 or like 8-4, and how many of them are just going to completely miss out? Like, week 9. Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU, A&M. Like, huge games. And who knows how good Vanderbilt. If, like, Vanderbilt's gonna be really good too. Holy smokes. Let's keep going. Week 10. It kind of chills out week 10. It's kind of chill in week 10. Week 10 kind of chill, but. I mean, the SEC, as much as people hate it, as much as, you know, the SEC just means more. It is a conference that is going to be an absolute bloodbath and a fight to the finish. Like, look at, I believe week 13 is, the final week? And then it is, it's week 14. Because week 14... Week 15 is, it's championships, and then the Army versus Navy game, aka the most overrated game in my opinion. This is week 14. Like, week 14, SEC, Um. It's a we'll see. We'll see. I think the SEC should be figured out by then. It should be. But it's too early to tell. We'll look more into it, one down the line. But we should know who the SEC championship is going to be. We should know. But so SEC should be an absolute bloodbath. Absolute bloodbath, baby. Absolute bloodbath. Should be an absolute bloodbath, and I'm all here for it. I think everybody should be watching every... If you're a college football fan, you're going to be watching every SEC game. Because these games are going to be good, and just the sheer importance of it all, it's going to be there. Let's look at... Well, this is kind of going to probably be my final point. Shedeur Sanders, Colorado, going to be one of the bigger... Always is going to be one of the biggest talking points in terms of college football on a week-to-week basis at any point in time. Colorado played Nebraska, and they got completely pantsed. I don't want to say pants. I think they got beat. They got beat 28-10. I wouldn't call it an absolute beatdown. They got beat. They got stymied. And, the way how I see it is... I see it simply as... I think how I see Shedeur Sanders, and again, I've gotten a very good look at Shedeur this year as a quarterback for Coach Prime this year. And in the two games that I have seen him play, he is just way too much just going for the home run ball. There's just like, again, there's drives that I've seen Shedeur do. Like, I have seen Shedeur Sanders, like, I like the drive they had against Colorado, 99-yard, very methodical drive, puts Colorado, ties the game, sends it to overtime. Like, I see drives like that and I go, hey, this is impressive. But this year, I've seen nothing but flash. A flash in the pan. A flash, but like not in a good way. Not necessarily in the good way. I'm seeing less methodology in just the way he plays. I'm seeing more trying to hit that home run ball. And unfortunately, this isn't the quarterback draft class. This usually is the year after the quarterback draft class. Like, I'm not high on Carson Beck either, and yet Carson Beck is about to play. You give credit to Georgia. Like, Georgia Tech, I think, is going to be good too. Like, give credit to Georgia. This is going to be their schedule. Alabama, they play Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Like, and Georgia Tech too. I think Georgia Tech, if they get their act together, they should be somebody to watch out for in terms of a ranked opponent too. And we're gonna see a lot. I'm not so sure yet because we're only 2 weeks in, and we're gonna see Carson Beck in some really good situations, like good tests coming up. Like Clemson, he's passed the test, but I'm not really wowed yet. So he has passed the test versus Clemson, but how are you gonna pass Alabama? How are you gonna pass Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee? And we're gonna have a great look at him come the college football playoff. Same thing when we look at Jalen Milroe. That's another one where Alabama 2, you got Wisconsin, Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Oklahoma. So we have schools that are going to be, again, very good test schools. Like, you're going to get a really good look at Jalen Milroe, too. This year's a quarterback prospect. Not super high on him, you know? I'm not super high on him as a quarterback prospect, but I'm not really high on anybody as I was compared to last year. So there's that. But still, we'll get really detailed looks at them. There's one quarterback that is in this current group that is also going to get another good look at, being, I mean, it's Shadur Sanders, and, well, Carson Beck. I named Carson Beck already, but, like, those are, like, currently, like, the 4 names, right? Oh, Quinn Ewers. And he's already passed one of the tests. He's beat Michigan in Michigan. That's a hard environment to play in. He's going to go to Georgia, Oklahoma. He's going to go on the road to Texas A&M. All really good tests, and they should. The schedule is a little bit easier. I think Texas should be in the SEC championship, and I think they should make the CFP on top of that. But as back to Shedeur, let's go for a moment to Shedeur Sanders. For Shedeur Sanders, let's be honest here. I don't think he's a first-round pick. I would have him, and again, I think along the way, I think people are going to really start to overlook Shedeur Sanders just in favor of other teams. Right? Like, I think we're going to start looking at other teams. I think Shedeur Sanders is about to get really overlooked. I think he's about to get really overlooked as a quarterback right now. He is a senior right now. He is a senior. And it's his final year regardless. But to me, what Shedeur Sanders is really lacking is a methodology in his play. He is lacking precision. Sorry, he's got the precision. He's got the ability to stand up in the pocket, get completely smoked, and toss the ball down the field 80 yards. But, like, in the NFL, you're going to have about 2.5 to 3 seconds of average time in the pocket. Is 2.5 to 3 seconds to make a play. And especially if Colorado is having, like, a very tough time finding receivers to toss to. Like, again, you got Travis Hunter. Dude's going to be a first-round pick no matter what. He is an incredible player. Right? Incredible player. Right? But I feel like Shedeur's just wants to hit the home run ball. Like, but Travis Hunter is one of those guys that, you know, he's one of those guys that can easily get opened. He's one of those guys that can create space when there's no space there for him. I mean, you can't hit the home run ball every time. You can't be like, and again, play calling can't be, we got to hit the home run ball. We got to make Shedeur look like he's a draftable quarterback, because that's when you get exposed very quickly in every single aspect of the NFL, right? Like, the way how I see him is Johnny Manziel. I look at him and I think my current quarterback comparison for him is Johnny Manziel, right? No, don't get me wrong. I still think Shedeur hasn't had like that game where, he's completely balled out and like absolutely went on an absolute gun show, right? Like, that still has yet to happen, right? So because of that, because we haven't seen like him, gun show wise, we haven't seen that yet, versus the Colorado Buffaloes. Like, I think there's going to be one impressive game. I think when he plays, I think when you look at Oklahoma State, I think that's going to be a game where, to me, it's the make or break game. Utah as well. Like, they play some pretty tough teams. Kansas State, Arizona, Utah, and even on the road at Kansas. Like, they have some tough like, they have a brutal schedule coming out. And the way how I see it, again, is what's your leadership like? Sure, you're getting your butts kicked, but the fact that he wasn't on the field for the snaps, we got no room, no notification, no indication that there was an injury. They just want to brush up on him. Yeah. I mean, not to mention his O-line didn't help him against Nebraska, but right now, the way how I look at the way how I look at it is their O-line has to improve in order for this team to win games down the line. They have to improve. They have to. They have to dominate. If they cannot dominate a game right now, and again, many people are looking at this like they're still a pretty bad team right now. Colorado is a team that I think they look like they're a 5-win team right now. They're going to win 5 games. I think you beat Colorado State. I think you beat Baylor. I think you beat UCF. And I think you beat Cincinnati. And you maybe beat Texas Tech. You go bowling. That's like your minimum hope. And that's my fucking hope, because I have a bet with Taegan going on right now. And I hope they can at least win 6 games, but I don't know if they can. They look like the same team from last year. Their O-line play, I thought it was a little better. No, it straight up hasn't improved at all. It's not improved. And you're going to go up against defensive stalwarts like Arizona and Utah that are very heavily good on defense. And you're going to have to figure it out. Like, you have to figure out your O-line play. The O-line play has to get, like, honestly, it does need to get better. But, Shedeur has to adapt to it. And the only way for Shedeur to adapt to really anything is he has to get rid of the ball quicker. He has to, again, 5-yard routes. Find something. Be accurate. Be precise with the ball. Stop trying to go for the home run ball. Because the more they try to go for the home run ball, I feel like the more it's just going to realistically bite them in the ass. You got to lay off the home run ball. I think they have to be more methodical when it comes to their play. And if they're not going to be methodical, gee whiz, 5-win season. Your 2 best players, Shedeur and Travis Hunter, go enter the NFL draft. And then you're left with what exactly? That's going to be, to me, Dion's real test. And that's probably when we're going to see the Buffaloes going back to being, the typical Colorado Buffaloes. Don't get me wrong. I think Deion Sanders has done a good thing for Colorado. I think bringing a lot of notoriety to the school, bringing a lot of money in, good economy for the local area is always a great thing. But this year you got to show results in the field, and you're not going to make the CFP. But you got to look. I think if Colorado finishes off as a ranked team, I think it's going to look really good for Shedeur Sanders. But like right now, I see Johnny Manziel, and I see a quarterback that's going to be drafted in the 4th round. Like, Shedeur has to play better. I think there's other quarterbacks like Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe, and Quinn Ewers that they have the spotlight right now. And those are just the right now ones. Like, come back in like 6 weeks. I'm pretty sure there'll be a new quarterback that's going to be added to this group of quarterbacks that is the way how you look at it, like the way how I see it, it's guys that are going to look like they're better quarterback prospects, especially if the nonsense continues that they're pulling out, that, we're going to do this, and that, if we're not going to be getting this and that. Right? Because, like, the NFL is the big boys league. And if a lot of scouts are like, well, he's going for the home run ball, and, this floor is Justin Fields. I think a ceiling could be Russell Wilson, but I could see the floor being... I see a ceiling right now as Justin Fields, and I see the floor as Johnny Manziel. If that ain't the most damning statement on the planet, I don't know what is. That's my current comp for Shedeur Sanders. He's going to prove me. He's got time to prove me wrong, though. Absolutely. But, I mean, put Colorado back in the 9 a.m. time slot. I know they get views, but there are some other deserving college football programs that deserve, like, that prime spot. And it's not Colorado. But here's Colorado, yet again, in the prime spot, about to get fucking wrecked. I think they'll go 4-1, and they'll be like, oh, here they are. But then have an absolute miserable end to the season. Just get 6 wins so nothing happens in Taegan and I's bet. And hey, if they go 10-2, I'm happy. But no, they're probably gonna get 5-6 wins on the year, and because they're a little better, not much better. I think even like the only benefit that they get is they're not in the Pac-12. And as much as people want to rag on the Pac-12, I think the Pac-12, I think they would have been better if they were in the Pac-12 this year, if there wasn't this big leaving of the Pac-12, because Washington's weaker, but USC is stronger, and I think Oregon's weaker. Well, who knows? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, but notoriety of the Pac-12, I think Pac-12 is only going to get better. But then after this year, it was a major step down. So, I mean, for Shedeur Sanders, I mean, dude looks like a 4th round draft pick to me, and that will be the most humbling thing, because at this point, I hope you made a lot of money in college, because, I mean, if you're a 4th round pick, hopefully you invested your money wisely, because, damn. Because duh ham. Alright. Here we go. Luke's top 25. Why is it not showing my Chrome? What the fluff? Why aren't you showing me my Chrome? Here we go. Here we go. Live, quickly editing. Alright. Week 2. My AP top 25. Big rule for this week: you must be you must be 2-0 to make my list. So teams like Notre Dame, Michigan, and Kansas. Well, the teams that are currently would be ranked at 1-1, being Clemson, Notre Dame, and LSU and Michigan will not be on the list this year as they lost. Sorry, don't lose your games. It's not that hard. Don't lose. Forehead. Duh. Alright. Let's get started. Number 1's Georgia. Let's be real. This year if you want to win the Natty, you have to beat Georgia. They're the team to beat, the best team right now. Texas and Alabama are right now lined up for Georgia. They have a tough schedule this year, and imagine if they go 13-0. I have them as the easy Natty favorite. Going in at 2, Texas. Texas looks really good right now. Going in Michigan, upsetting Michigan. The fact that the top 2 is the SEC right now is amazing. The SEC, it just means different. Don't forget, Ohio State hasn't played anybody tough yet. I know it's going to change when they play Oregon, but they haven't really they haven't played anybody tough. As soon as they play somebody worth a damn, they'll probably move up. But for right now, they're at 3. They just need to play a tougher team. Don't play stop playing cupcakes. You're Ohio State, for God's sakes. Play Notre Dame. Please play it. Seriously. Play Tennessee. Play Tennessee. Play Ole Miss. Prove to me that you should be, in the top 2, top 1. I like how you played Notre Dame last year. Play somebody harder. Please. Alabama. Top 3 is pretty locks. Alabama, sure they struggled, but they got their shit together at the end of the year. Sorry, they got their crap together. So Alabama's at 4. Probably going to be hard to move. There's going to be lots of movement, if they don't get their stuff together, but hopefully they learn. Don't look past your opponent. Ole Miss, again, Ole Miss looks very good this year. Gotta look forward to other upcoming SEC schedule, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Missouri, same thing. It's going to be really tough for them to move up. God, I can't wait for more to watch the SEC. Missouri's going to be really good right now, so you got to watch out. 6 is Missouri. 7 is Tennessee. Yes, I too, just like the AP Top 25, have 6 of the 7 spots are dedicated to the SEC because it just means different. But, oh my God, I can't wait to watch how the SEC plays out. As much as I enjoyed the finale to the Pac-12, I really can't wait to see how the SEC shapes out. That's going to be a good conference. That's going to be a good finish. Shocker, at 8 I have Utah. I'm going to personally prioritize teams that are that I foresee right now as division champions to be a little bit higher than what they should be. It's sorry, 9's Utah. My bad. I'm dumb. Holy crap! 7 of the 8 at top spots are the SEC. Hold one. Real? Did I? Oh no. Oh, he might have made some mistakes. Hold up. Terribly sorry, lads. Okay, I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I have Utah at 8. I think Utah at 8's good. Right now, I see them winning the Big 12 right now, so I'm gonna have Utah up a little bit higher. I'm not gonna really bump them up until they play somebody really tough yet. And I mean, they literally just had to stand there and let Baylor completely self-destruct on them. So, like, they didn't have to try. They didn't really have to try. Miami at 9. They should be really good. I have them winning the ACC right now, so I'm going to have them in my top 10 for now. Penn State at 10. I can't believe the AP polls kept them at 8. I think, again, they were really close losing to Bowling Green. Really, really close. So I have them at 10. But if Penn State doesn't get their stuff together, we're going to see another typical Penn State season. And especially when you're in the Big Ten, like, you're going to have to do more than just go 10-2 to really say, hey, I deserve a spot here. Like, they have to go to the Big Ten championships. But, again, Penn State, they really are still another really unproven team that just hasn't done much, to say the very least. But I have Penn State at 10. At 11, I have Oregon. Oregon, not quite there yet. Oregon at 10, not quite yet. Oregon, I have another team that I could see falling out of the top 25. I think they're going to lose to Oregon State. That's again my double down for the Untitled Sickles Project for Pick'ems this week. I'm going to double down Oregon State. They just haven't looked convincing at all, and I'm pretty sure Oregon State is going to be very hungry. Again, Oregon's probably the biggest reason why the Pac-12 completely dissolved. It is the biggest reason why but I see that in USC. The biggest reason why the Pac-10, 12 completely dissolved. It is Oregon and USC. But mostly it's Oregon, because Oregon's been the best team in the Pac-12, and they want notoriety for the Pac-12. But, like, again, Dylan Gabriel has been great. He's been okay, not great. Yeah. I have him at 11 for now. I imagine they're going to be falling out soon. USC, 13. Great win for USC. We'll see down the line. I could see USC passing Oregon soon. But for now, Oregon's ahead. But probably after this week, I'll probably have USC higher than Oregon. Unless Oregon destroys Oregon State. But I have USC at... I'm just going to... One second. I got them at 12, so I just got to make sure. I have them at 12. So I have them at 12. 13, I have Kansas State. They're about to play a very tough opponent. They're going to play Arizona, actually. I have Arizona unranked. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to get there. But I have Kansas State. Good win. Oklahoma State. Great win against Arkansas State. Great comeback. And, hey, way to beat Bobby Petrino, blowing a 14-point lead. That's really good. I think, Oklahoma State's going to be a lot better. I mean, you're better off without Texas and Oklahoma in your conference anyway, so you're going to be the greatest benefactors of that. Great win. Like the fact that you're playing SEC opponents. I like non-conference games when they're like that. I give more credit to teams who do that. But again, Oklahoma State, great job. I have them at 14. 15, I have the Sooners. Right, 15, yeah, we're at 15. Okay. So I have the Sooners at 15 right now. Good team right now. I mean, I'm not convinced with the Sooners. You're 2-0, but, like, you're not enough to drop enough yet, and I think you should have been... I should have dropped you a little bit, but, like, there's no other teams that would have taken your place. So you're more or less here by default. But be very careful, Oklahoma. You're about to enter the doldrums of the SEC soon. You can't play games like you did against Houston. But, I think you should be going bowling, but I don't know if you'll finish in the AP top 25. Louisville at 17. Right. So, wait. I have Louisville at 16. I like where Louisville's at. They should be, don't underestimate Louisville. They should be pretty good down the line. Just need to see more convincing victories. 17. Holy, what the hell? I have Washington at 17. Alright, no. Fuck it. I have Washington going from 25 to 17. Yeah. 17 Washington. Yeah. You more just benefit from... Like, they're not even ranked in the AP top 25. They're 23 in the coaches poll. But Washington has won versus opponents that they should win, and I think they should be ranked after they beat Washington State in the Apple Cup this week. The big thing is, though, I need them to play a complete game, and they haven't really done that yet. This is more of, I'm a Washington fan, and this is my list. But, it's more, there's newer entries into this, and it's more I need to see more. So Washington benefits from that. So they probably will drop next week, but they're at, man, I was on crack. 17 for now. 18, I have Boston College. Yeah. The AP poll's really overlooking Boston College. I think they're really, really good. Even they exposed Florida State, man. Don't underestimate Boston College. I think they're going to be very good down the line. Like, very, very good down the line. So don't stop overlooking Boston College. 19, I have Iowa State. Because I told Spencer, fellow podcast member Spencer, aka the Carsausage, that I was going to have him at 19 because I had Iowa at 19, and they, just like how they stole the game versus Iowa, they can steal the spot at 19. Good win by the Cyclones. You're ranked in my books. I have Liberty at 20, not real necessarily moving up, but there's a lot of people who are not. I think they're the best Group of 5 team right now. I think they're consistent enough. I think it's going to be Liberty that's going to be in the CFP right now. I like them more than Boise State right now. And again, it's if Liberty can get by Appalachian State for the Sun Belt Conference Championship, yeah, they should be in it. But I think Liberty, in my opinion, is the best Group of 5 team. And I think I'll have them ranked a little bit higher because, yeah, they're the best Group of 5 team right now. And that's what matters. 21 Nebraska, great win against Colorado. I think Matt Rule, he's a terrible NFL coach, but a good coach when it comes to... He's a good coach when it comes to... he's a good coach when it comes to college. And I think it shows. Nebraska's needed this for a while. I think they're defensively a very good team. But can they be good offensively is going to be it's going to be whether or not Nebraska has real staying power in the AP top 25, or if they're just going to, be, a team that looks more like a good 8-4 team, I have Arizona State at 22. Yeah. I'm not super convinced with Arizona State quite yet, but it's more of, hey, you're 2-0 right now, and simply put, I like them over a lot of teams for now. And if I had to pick one of the Arizonas, I pick the Sun Devils right now. So I think Sun Devils are better than Arizona right now. Syracuse at 23. Dude. Reminder of Syracuse to send the keys to the city and Sean Day a fruit basket, right? Like, as a reminder, please, if you are Syracuse, do yourselves a favor and send Sean Day a fruit basket for giving you Kyle McCord. And again, that's a player to watch for now. Kyle McCord is a player to watch for now. Not yet, but for now. Great win by Syracuse. And don't forget to send a fruit basket to... I think you got to rank Syracuse at 24, honestly. But I have them at 23. But yeah, for Syracuse, right now, yeah, I like Syracuse. Kyle McCord's going to do special things for this team. He's going to do a lot of special things. At 23, at 24, I have Pitt. Yes, Pitt University. Oh my God, this guy's on fucking crack. You are absolutely right. I will rank Pitt because, honestly, how else are you going to rank Pitt this year? Good comeback win versus Cincinnati. And again, it's more because I find I'm going to more prioritize, ACC teams. I'm still personally myself trying to figure out the ACC right now. And, Pitt could easily go unranked anytime soon. But, again, I think where you look at with the ACC, having Pitt at I have Pitt at 24. Great comeback win versus Cincinnati. Really great win all around. But watch out for Pitt. They're going to be really good in the ACC. Lastly, Northern Illinois. Oh, what a great upset win that was. And again, like when I think of the MAC, right? I don't think anything of the Northern Illinois. I don't know, again, MAC is usually pretty tough to figure out, but pulling off an upset like that, yeah, you're good. You deserve rankings. Now, $1 million question for them. Now that they've been put in this position, can Northern Illinois win the MAC and be seen better than Liberty and Boise State? That will be the one, and hell, even UNLV. That will be the staying $1 million question for Northern Illinois when it comes to whether or not this team is going to stay ranked. Again, it's very early in the season, but for Northern Illinois, again, if you can hold on to your ranking for as long as possible and, win a lot of critical games. Northern Illinois, because as of right now, according to the AP poll, if the season ended today, Northern Illinois would be playing Texas in the first round of the playoffs. So, yeah, Northern Illinois at 25. And that is my top 25 for this week. Man, Notre Dame, get your shit together, please. Anyways, for rankings next week, as a reminder, teams will have to be 3-0 to qualify for my AP poll top 25. Or, a really good 2-1 team. We'll see. And as for reason why they didn't have Arizona ranked, week 1, New Mexico struggled against an FCS opponent in week 0. They lost, and they were not even favored to win that game, too. So, with that in mind, New Mexico is one of the weaker teams in the group of 5 this year. And that game was way too close at half, but they pulled away. You're down 10-6 versus your FCS opponent, and you only won 22-10. Yeah, I'm not convinced on Arizona. That's why I've unranked Arizona. I'm not convinced. And I'm convinced more by these teams than I am of Arizona. And I'm gonna need to see more of what Arizona can do. But right now, I think Arizona is about to completely tumble out of the top 25 for good this season. You play Kansas State this week, and then your next opponent is Utah. Have fun. So I think Arizona's about to completely tumble out of the top 25. And hey, I just took the liberty of taking you out of my top 25 list because, you know, I'm doing you a favor of what you should be expecting. Although you could pull off the upset this week. And when you do pull off the upset this week, damn, I'll have to rank you guys again if you do that. But, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to stay tuned for later tonight at around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Untitled Sickles Project. We're going to be talking about Week 1 in the NFL and talk about how much crack the CFB college football this week snorted. Damn, this was a crazy week. Can't wait to see more. Yeah, and it's so wolf over for Michigan. You guys really miss John Harbaugh. Anyways, I'll see you on Saturday for the Seahawks recap against the Broncos, and also going to preview the game versus the Patriots. So that's going to be one to watch out for. Yeah, hopefully next week I'll have it out sooner. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.